Our story on melatonin. If you're someone who takes melatonin to fall asleep, then this news is surely for you. You might want to think twice. A new global study presented at the American Heart Association's scientific sessions has raised some major red flags, linking long-term melatonin use to 90% higher risk of heart failure. The study has tracked nearly 130,000 adults worldwide and found that those taking melatonin for more than a year were far more likely to develop heart failure and nearly twice as likely to die from any cause over the next 5 years. Experts say that that's because the synthetic melatonin that's found in most pills isn't identical to the hormone that our brain naturally produces at night. The body's own melatonin is released in tiny, timed amounts, but many supplements contain 10 times that dose, and labels often don't match what's actually inside. Over time, these high doses can trick your body into producing less of its own melatonin, leading to dependency, fatigue, and hormone imbalance. Health experts are now urging people to use melatonin like a medicine, short-term, low dose, and ideally under medical guidance. For long-term sleep issues, safer natural fixes, of course, still work best, like yoga, mindfulness, reading before bed, proper sleep hygiene. Researchers do caution that this isn't final proof, though, of harm yet. The study isn't peer-reviewed, and it shows correlation but not causation. But certainly a warning sign, and raises questions. With thousands of supplements that we have on a regular basis and that's flood the market, I'm sure me, including myself and you, have supplements. What kind of supplements are you advised? How much can you have? Has it actually been tested for safety and dosage? All these questions come to play. Let me bring in Dr. Mukesh Goel, Senior Consultant Cardiology, Apollo Hospitals, and Dr. Ravi Prakash, psychiatrist, joining us here today. Dr. Mukesh Goel, your take on this heart-related issues, long-term use of melatonin, it's certainly alarming. Would you give us a little advice as to what's the best takeaway from this survey here?
So good evening. Nabila, you have rightly pointed out that this study has brought into focus that long-term melatonin use can increase the risk of heart failure in general population. Though this study is not conclusive, but it has nudged the public authorities to at least plan a long-term, what we call a progressive and prospective study to definitely find the truth whether there is a cause and effect relationship or not. So, as I understand, this study was just presented and it is in the presentation in the ongoing AHA meeting.
And melatonin long-term use?
So, melatonin, most of the people, as I know, that they take for short-term use, like if they have come from a long journey, there are change in time zones, or some some mental issues which are like short-term. So I will say like 1 week to 15 days.
Yeah, that's a safe usage.
Uh, yeah, it can be or cannot be. We don't know because nobody has studied it.
You know, because you get these melatonin gummies, and that's so yummy, and you'd want to pop it every now and then. You feel a little stressed and want to sleep well. So this study kind of, shakes that conscience. And you can't just so easily and blindly consume melatonin thinking it's harmless.
Yeah, not only that, it is important for public to know that they should not be popping these sleeping aids like that. And Dr. Ravi Prakash is sitting here. So chronic insomnia itself is a risk factor for heart failure, heart disease. And we don't know that what were the percentage of the people who were taking melatonin, but they were in the non-melatonin group, as the study itself has pointed out.
Okay.
Because they only studied the electronic health records.
Okay.
So definitely we need a well-planned, prospective, long-term study to really find the truth. But as of today, I will advise to keep away from long-term melatonin use.
Quickly, also bring in Dr. Ravi Prakash on that. We know psychiatrists also suggest and recommend melatonin for better sleep, whatnot. Dr. Ravi Prakash, a quick synopsis from you on this survey.
Survey, yeah, it's a very important survey, I would say. we were lacking the data about long-term usages and the outcomes of melatonin in patients. But there are certain concerns about this survey, as they have themselves pointed out that it does not show a causative association. The cause and effect association cannot be made by this survey. There is one thing that the sample size is very big, 1,30,000 is quite a number. But the important question is that why it was administered for over 1 year? As the guidelines, all the guidelines, today I was just going through it, I don't think any guideline for usage of melatonin recommends the usage beyond 3 months. So, because the duration of chronic insomnia, the diagnosis, the definition itself is 3 months only. So, beyond 3 months, why it was given that it's very difficult to understand is this another important question, the question of confounding variable. So, when it comes to biostatistics, especially when you do retrospective study, the relationship between dependent and independent variable is often disrupted by another variable, which is called as confounding variable. Sometimes what happens that the confounding variable, basically the definition of confounding variable is that it affects both the cause and the effect, so-called effect relationship, in such a way that it it makes the outcome inconclusive. So in this case, I would say that chronic insomnia was a confounding variable with an opposite of melatonin, as well as the outcome on the cardiac problems. It is well known over the course of several studies that
So in your
disruption of
expertise, you
circadian
say
rhythms.
nothing more than 3 months. 3 months it is, and having those
The
gummy
3 months is
melatonin
also
gummies are
more.
also
3 months
as
is also.
risky.
So I would say few weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as sir was pointing out. Very rarely I have gone to more than 1 month. In some cases I've gone, but it is definitely not recommended. I mean, guideline wise only, it is not recommended beyond 3 months.
That's
So
that.
why 1 year was
Yeah, yeah. The survey studied 1 year, but clearly the reason being that people across the globe have started. It's now become a fad, right? You either have melatonin or magnesium.
yeah,
Magnesium is a good idea, prolonged period.
no molecule. See, that is what I tell people, that sleep is one such biological function which is genetically ingrained into your biology, not now when your body is being created inside your mother's womb. That is why no one teaches a baby how to sleep. No one can teach also. And as the baby progresses through the life and it becomes a child and adolescent, the consolidation of different phases of sleep, NREM and REM, it happens automatically. No one has to take anything for a biological function, just like you don't need to take anything for appetite or excretory functions. Similarly, for sleep also, it is not required. Any
All
molecule
right.
is not required, first of all.
All right. So
Even
it's
if
a
it is
short
required, it should
dosage.
be short,
Yeah, short dosage
very
in
short.
moderation, few weeks until you fix yourself is what's recommended. That's all I have time for. Thank you very much, Dr. Mukesh
Yes.
and Dr. Ravi, for joining us here tonight.